Good morning, everybody, and good morning, all. I take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, Sri Yelusung Meru, PCCF Wildlife and PCCF Vigilance, Telangana Forest Department. I welcome Dr. Padmadat, Professor, and other dignitaries who have present physically here. And I also welcome officers from Telangana Forest Department, Orissa Forest Department, Jharkhand Forest Department, Bihar Forest Department, West Bengal Forest Department, and officers from state to biodiversity boards, state medicinal plants boards, and scientists from CREDA, scientists from agriculture universities, and academicians from universities, and scientists from all, and our guest of honor, Dr. Manoranjan Banja, who has just joined. He was the retired PCCF of AP Forest Department. I welcome you. I welcome all the dignitaries and scientists of ICFRE and our DDG research from ICFRE headquarters. I welcome and hearty welcome to all the participants. And today, as per our schedule, today we are organizing this regional research conference. And every year ICFRE is conducting at various institute level. We are organizing this regional research conference every year to prioritize our research targets, because we, being the research organization, we take up prioritize and formulate projects to fulfill the needs of the industry, forest department, universities, and other stakeholders, farmers especially. And for this reason, we have to prioritize research targets for this financial year, so that our scientists can formulate projects to achieve the targets. And this year's target we have taken that to fulfill the sustainable development goals and to achieve the biodiversity target of UNCBD. And we have taken up this project theme, and all the eminent personalities who are joining today, they are going to all the stakeholders, they will be telling their research priorities, so that we can take up those projects. Especially, as you know, this United Nations has universally adopted this UN Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, year 2030, 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And universally adopted means all the member countries of United Nations, that is 193 member countries are there. They have universally adopted and to achieve this sustainable development goals. Those sustainable development goals includes both social aspects as well as environmental aspects, as well as economic aspects. Social aspects means poverty eradication, literacy rate achievement, gender equality, and employment generation, and good working environment, sustainable cities. These are social aspects. Economic aspects means innovations in research, industrial development, sustainable growth. These are the economic aspects. And environmental and aspects includes biodiversity conservation, protection of life on earth, protection of life under water. All these are constitute the sustainable development goals. For achieving these sustainable development goals, there are various targets fixed, and whereas indicators also have been prioritized. To achieve these targets, we have a major role. India being committed to achieving the sustainable development goals, we have to prioritize our research activities also. It is not only the government responsibility, it is the responsibility of all research organizations, universities, industry, all other stakeholders have to jointly work together to achieve the sustainable development goals. Apart from that, UNCBD has fixed the targets for 2030. 20 targets have been fixed. Sustainable development for conservation of biological diversity. Under that, we have to restrict the pollution, eradicate invasive alien species, sustainable management of forests. Like that, various targets have been fixed at Kunming, Montreal UNCBD conference. To achieve these sustainable development goals, India being the signatory to UNCBD, India is also taking up various measures to achieve this, to work in consonance with global targets Indian government is also working. And recently, this government of India is also announced green credit program, and ICFR is the nodal agency for implementation of the green credit program. Under green credit program, green credits will be given to plantation activities, plantation both within the forest areas of degraded areas as well outside forest areas also. For plantation activities, green credits will be given. Apart from green credits in forest afforestation programs, soil and moisture conservation works, effluent reduction, energy saving, green buildings, and other such 8 activities they qualify for attaining the green credit program. And green credits already started. Many corporates, they are funding the forest departments for replanting in degraded forest areas. They are being taken up by forest departments for taking up plantation activities so that they will get green credits. Right now, this green credit program rules have been framed for forest areas only. The corporates, now it is open for only public sector undertakings to finance the green credit program within the forest areas, and they can use those green credits in lieu of compensatory afforestation. Earlier, for forest diversion activities, these corporates, public sector undertakings, they were especially mining companies and steel companies, thermal power companies, Coal India Limited, Oil India Limited, all those public sector undertakings, for forest diversion of forest, they were paying compensatory afforestation fund. But now if they generate green credits by financing afforestation activities within the forest area, they can use these green credits in lieu of compensatory afforestation. And recently I interacted with some private sector people also. They are also willing to take up afforestation activities within the forest area, but that is not permitted for, now it is not open for afforestation for private organizations, because our forest areas are managed as per Wildlife Protection Act, Forest Conservation Act, Indian Forest Act, and the green credit generated within the forest areas, they cannot be traded. It is a forest being a restricted area, and those cannot be traded, and they can only public, it is open for public sector and not for private sector. But the private sector, they can take up plantation activities outside forest areas, and if they take up plantation activities outside forest areas, the rules are being framed by ICFRE. They can finance the afforestation programs and generate green credits. But many private sector people, they are very enthusiastic to trade this green credit program. Now this, for trading green credits, the platform is not open now. If you want to trade green credits, because there should be a verifying body, certifying body, there should be a registry, there should be a online exchange platform like stock exchange, and then only people can trade. And for that, adequate machinery is required to be established. But once ICFR is working in that direction, once the green credit rules are framed for trees outside forest area, it can be linked to carbon credit scheme also. If afforestation is done, carbon stocks are also accumulated. They can be linked to carbon credit scheme, carbon trading scheme. Even though in 2023, Government of India has amended the Energy Conservation Act 2001. Under that, carbon trading scheme has been announced by Ministry of Power, Government of India. Because at global level also, many polluting industries, capping is introduced for carbon emissions. They are not supposed to emit carbon emissions beyond certain limits. In India also, the carbon emissions, 1,000 listed companies are brought under this capping, will be brought under capping. And 2023-24 budget also, Finance Ministry announced that 1,000, I was mentioning about green credit program of Ministry of Environment and Forest. Our ICFR is the nodal agency, but we are working in that direction to formulate rules for all life mission programs like soil and water conservation, emission reduction, effluent treatment, solid waste management, green buildings, and other such activities for bringing under the green credit program. Once it is brought under green credit program, even public sector can also, private sector people can also participate to especially it is the priority because we are not getting funds for our research activities. We have to private sector also willing to pay for finance the green credit programs because the SEBI has announced business responsibility and sustainability reporting, that is ESG reporting, compulsory for all 1000 listed companies of India if from this year onwards. That's why all this 1000 listed companies, they are coming forward to finance for green activities. Green financing is an essential component to take up green development mechanisms, clean development mechanisms. At global level also, green products have the market value, and these products generated using green technologies will fetch high price, and it is mandatory to report to sustainability reporting is mandatory for 1000 listed companies, and they are very much interested in financing green research activities, especially this green credit program and carbon credit program and other such activities, effluent treatment. Even the UNCBD also tells that we have to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers. That means we have to work on biopesticides, biofertilizers, and other such activities, and environment friendly agriculture. That means nature based solutions have to be adopted, and all these things should come under our priorities. And even forest department, they are getting funding from public sector undertaking for greening their degraded forest areas. But the problem is that they have to prepare, get ready with their working plans. Without working plan prescription, they are not supposed to take up plantation activity or soil and moisture conservation activity or reforestation activity or change of the forest composition. No such activity will be taken up without working plan approval. And now the new working plan code also prescribes that various parameters like carbon stock estimation, biodiversity assessment, all those invasive alien species assessment, all those such things should be taken up. Until then, the plantation activities cannot be done, and ICFR is working to provide consultancy services willing to provide consultancy services to forest department, public sector and industry, private industry, to take up their consultancy works. Wherever research report technical inputs are required, because under BRSR framework, the corporates are required to submit sustainability report every year to the SEBI, Stock Exchange, as well as Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Earlier they were reporting only annual reports, profit and loss account, the balance sheet they were submitting. Now they are under the new framework, they are required to submit the sustainability report also. It is easy to furnish the financial reporting, is easy. They can make a balance sheet and profit and loss account and submit. But sustainability reporting needs quantification of all the things like carbon emissions. They have to be monitored regularly, and the effluent analysis, the quantity of effluents they are emitting, they have to be analyzed. And even if they are sourcing materials from mining, that also how much carbon footprint they are generating, that also should be estimated. And if some manufacturing industry, they are marketing their products, and if they are using transport like shipping and surface transport, how much carbon footprint they are developing, that also should be quantified. All this comes under the sustainability reporting. For that they need not only the help of the chartered accountant, but help of a institution, scientific institution like ICFRE. And we are willing to provide consultancy to all the stakeholders, provided if they come. And especially the private sector, public sector, and other environment conscious people are willing to provide funding for green development mechanisms, afforestation programs, biodiversity conservation activities, but the projects are not available. They are willing to provide. Even if somebody has consulted to provide funding for afforestation activities, but the rules have not yet been framed. Once the rules are framed, right projects have been formulated, we can channelize the financing for green activities. With that intention only, we are conducting this regional research conference to take prioritize our research activities to fulfill the requirements of our stakeholders, especially forest department, public sector undertakings, private industries, and other stakeholders. And we don't want to work in isolation. We have collaborating with universities, forest colleges, other research institutes of ICAR research institutes, CSIR institutes. We want to collaborate. We don't want to work in isolation. That's why we have invited all our stakeholders to join our conference to prioritize our research targets for formulating our research projects. And we want to take up such projects that will benefit not only industry and forest department, even farmers also, they have to be benefited. Under the CBT guidelines, the green agriculture, sustainable agriculture also gets green credits, and farmers also shown in enthusiasm to take up plantation activities, provided it is linked to some trading mechanism. And we are working on evaluating such trading mechanism, online platform, so that they can trade through their demat accounts. If the proper exchange is made for trading of green credits or carbon credits. Carbon credits trading is easy because already this Bureau of Energy Efficiency, it is made as the nodal agency or the policy maker or administrator, just like ICFRE for carbon credit scheme. And and already the power transactions are maintained by Grid Control of India. Now for carbon credits also, Grid Control of India is made as the registry, and already there is a power exchange is there to trade up power. Because even just like carbon credits, green credits, power is also not a physical good. It is traded through units only. Carbon credits are also traded through units or certificate basis only. For that, online platform should be developed, and the ICFR is working in collaboration. If some such platform is developed, and the trading can be materialized, unless India is focused on becoming the second or third largest economy in the world, and it should be at the same time we have to adopt clean and green development mechanisms. And generally the clean development mechanisms, they are not tested, and the investment will be higher. The returns are not uncertain. That's why many people, they will not invest in green activities. But Reserve Bank of India announced that green bond scheme, sovereign green bond scheme, as well as the green deposit scheme. Many people are enthusiastic in spending in green activities. The green deposit collected by public sector banks or registered non-banking financial companies, they have to give priority lending to the green activities only. They are not supposed to finance the polluting industries. They have to finance the non-polluting industries or clean and green production industries only. That is the scheme of the green deposit scheme announced by Reserve Bank of India. And all public sector banks are also obliged to this green funding scheme. And apart from that, Reserve Bank of India also announced green bonds scheme, sovereign bond scheme. Sovereign means government bonds only. The green bonds, generally companies, whether public sector companies or private sector companies, they raise their funds through bonds. That is short-term security bonds. But under green sovereign bonds, these are the only government bonds. Private people are not supposed to raise funds through green bonds. Only public sector undertakings and this public limited companies, nationalized banks, they have to issue this green security bonds, sovereign bonds, green bonds, for funding green development mechanisms and other such green activities, green transport. And that is the good concept. Now globally also it is being followed, and India also, we have to achieve And right now the transport also, surface transport ministry also, so promoting green vehicles for green transport mechanisms. Indian Railways, they have already electrified their railway lines to electrification, and all these contributing to the environmental protection measures. And ICFR is also committed to work together for the protection of the environment, conservation of biodiversity, and sustainable agriculture, sustainable forest management activities. And at the same time, we have to promote industry, channelize funding for green activities. And these are all our priorities. And all the stakeholders who have joined are expected to give their valuable suggestions to prioritize our research activities to fulfill the requirements of the nation, as well as the industry, as well as the forest departments, who are the main custodian of our natural resources, and all other departments, especially mining department, steel, Ministry of Steel, power department. They are the major emitters of the carbons, and we will keep in mind all their requirements while formulating our research projects, and all are requested to give their valuable suggestions. And in today's conference, there are many stakeholders who are joining, and many eminent persons are presenting, especially from forest department, research institutions, and other organizations, and NGOs also. And I welcome all these, and without taking much time, we will go to our presentations from forest departments. And I thank all the participants who have enthusiastically joined today's regional research conference. And we will develop a good, we will, with this I will thank everybody for joining us. Thank you.